What have you done to your face?
Accident.
Oh, yes. Mistook it for an ashtray, did you?
That's right, yeah.
We can help you make a complaint to the governor.
Oh, leave it out. Oi.
What?
You leave it out and all. Well, you want to get me killed or something?
No, strange as it may seem, Joby, we're trying to get you off. Now then, a Mrs. Louisa Parsons, age 75, living at an end house, number 1 Pondicherry Road, somewhere behind Euston Station, answered a ring at her front door on the morning of October the 19th. A youth was there who said, "You still living here, Mrs. Parsons?" and then ran off. Later that day, a person she identifies as the same youth, though his face was partially covered, again rang her doorbell, and when she answered it, forced his way in, attacked her, punched her in the face and stomach, oh, charming, tied her up with some clothes from the kitchen, kicked her, broke up most of the crockery and some of the furniture in the house, left with Mrs. Parsons' post office savings book, in which there was a balance of £5.79. She later identified the defendant, Joby Jonson, at an identification parade in Euston, Nick.
And that is the first time I ever set my eyes on the old bat. At the ID parade.
Joby, it might be as well when you're giving evidence to resist the temptation to call the victim an old bat. It is not an expression likely to endear you to the jury. Oh, by the way, have you got a spare copy of Joby's statement? Mine seems to have walked in the night.
The defence is an alibi, Mr. Rumpole, if you remember.
You read what I said, didn't you?
Yes, Joby, of course I did. Over the last few months, it's been my sole bedtime study. So far as I can remember. That's a promising start, isn't it? So far as I can remember, at the time Mrs. Parsons was attacked, I was hanging about near the Superloo in Euston Station with 3 girls down from Manchester who were singing and dancing a bit.
Mr. Bernard says that you was a brilliant brief. Can't you even get me off on this?
I may well be a brilliant brief, Joby, but I am unable to walk on water or transmute base metals into gold. Nor am I able to make use of a so-called alibi which ignores the most important piece of evidence in this case.
Oh yeah, what's that meant to be then?
Your palm print on Mrs. Parsons' front door.
Yeah, well, I'm not for putting my hands up, as long as that's clear. I don't care what they says. You got that.